In this episode of You Ask, I Answer, one of the most common questions I've asked is how do I get started learning analytics, learning Google Analytics, learning any kind of digital marketing analytics? And so I put together a blog post. Before we go any further, everything we're going to talk about is in a blog post with clickable links, some of them affiliate links, on my blog, ChristopherSpenn.com. So be sure to go and get that blog post there. So how do you get started? Well, there's three sets of content I think are really good. There's courses, books, and then blogs. And the important part to me is the order. You need to have the courses first as the foundation so that you get the frameworks, you get the way to think about stuff in the big picture. One of the things I've seen people do wrong is they'll rush into start reading blogs, and it's kind of like hopping on a treadmill that's already in motion. You can do it, but it's probably not the best or safest way to do it. So you do the courses first, get the basics down, and really do the courses not for a certificate. I mean, you do get certificates for some of them, but not for the purposes of getting the piece of paper. It's for the acquisition of the knowledge. Then you go read the books for the deep dives into specific areas, specific points of focus. And then finally, once you're up to speed, then you get on the blogs and you start reading the blogs and building on the knowledge you have, sort of like continuing education. So, courses. Google Analytics Academy is number one by far. It is the gold standard in the industry. Go through the entire thing. 2 is the AdWords certification. And this, again, gold standard, helps you think about advertising, how to deploy it, how to measure it. 3, Google has a certification called Digital Sales, which is really powerful for solopreneurs, for consultants, for agency people who have to work within the agency context or in a service type business, because it tells you how to talk to your customers about analytics. I think it's also valuable for people who work inside larger organizations where you have to essentially sell the ideas of measurement and stuff to executives and stakeholders. 4, the Google Data Studio certification. So this is, again, this is a course, it's a training for using Data Studio, which is Google's visualization and data product. Very, very good product. It's free. And then finally, doing the HubSpot inbound marketing HubSpot Academy courses. There's like 40 of them, but the inbound marketing one is very good. Those courses, I think those 5 courses or so are really, really good. They're a solid foundation, and they're also free of financial cost, which is a big deal because there's a lot of paid courses out there. I wouldn't pay for any to start. Maybe down the road, but these ones to begin with are a great introduction. Then the deep dive into books. So the gold standard in books is Dr. Edward Tufte's The Visual Display of Quantitative Information. This is the book to think about analytics because it helps you understand and see how to display data, how to show data to people in a way that they'll understand. This is an older book. I don't know if I have my copy on the shelf here. No, I must have it upstairs. But it is still one of the best books for showing people data and for learning how to think about showing people data. How do I communicate data in an intelligible manner? Daniel Weisberg's Google Analytics Integrations is a great book. It is officially endorsed by Google, and there are, again, a gajillion and a half analytics books out there, but I tend to recommend the ones that were endorsed by Google. Either Google has endorsed them publicly at events or has, in fact, just given them to people at events. And Daniel Weisberg's Google Analytics Integrations is one of those. Another one is Avinash Kaushik's Web Analytics 2.0. Now, from a technology perspective, this book is pretty far out of date. It's about 9 years old, but the parts that are valuable are the how to think about analytics, how to think about an analytics strategy. Also very useful stuff that is timeless. How do you think about setting objectives, setting out planning and communication of your data objectives. And shameless plug, my book, Marketing Blue Belt. And then finally, on the blog side of things. We have Avinash's blog, Kaushik.net, Annie Cushing's blog, Analytics, Katie Nuggets, which is a fantastic big data and analytics blog. It is an advanced blog. That treadmill's going at full speed. But it's a good one to read, at least for no other reason than to get a sense of where the data science and analytics landscape is today. The Kissmetrics blog is excellent. Kevin Hillstrom's Mind That Data blog is excellent. Tom Webster's blog, Brand Savant, excellent. And Tom is one of the most clear thinkers about data, analytics, and insights in the world. His company's website, Edison Research, also has a ton of good stuff on their blog. The IBM Big Data Hub blog is excellent because it's a ton of resources, again, about how do we think about analytics, how do we present this data to people, and presumably, hopefully, if you're reading this, you've subscribed to my blog. So that's the sequence: courses for the foundation, books for the deep dives into specific topics, and then blogs to once you're running, you get on one of the many treadmills and read. Can you do it in a different order? Yes. I think it's not as efficient, and it can be a little bit more confusing, especially if analytics and mathematics and statistics don't come naturally to you. I think the one other thing I would add, maybe I'll add this into the blog post, is that in terms of programming languages or software to dig into, obviously Google Analytics is the gold standard for basic marketing analytics, and it's a great starting point. I think after that, Watson Analytics will let you bring in different data sets, including Google data, and analyze it to understand it better. And then once you're really, again, up to speed and you are comfortable doing all kinds of analysis, either moving to Watson Studio or just jumping right into the programming language R, either one of those would be sort of that advanced level of analytics. So those are, again, some tools that you can use to help understand and make practical use of these things. So Google Analytics, Watson Analytics, and then Watson Studio or R, the programming language. The programming language is free of financial costs, so is Google Analytics. Watson Analytics is like $35 a month. And then Watson Studio is pay-per-use, and it's like 3 cents an hour or something along those lines. So, answering the question, very common question, where do you get started learning analytics? That's where. Again, everything that I've just talked about, all the links, are on my blog, ChristopherSpenn.com. So make sure that you hop on over there to get them so that you don't have to replay the video and scribble it down. But thanks for watching. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and the newsletter. Talk to you soon.